Hello and welcome to the Star Citizen news for the week ending the 25th of September. I digest all the news about Star Citizen, Squadron 42, AtV RtV, and then compact it into a quicker to assimilate chunk. The Retaliator Bomber is back in the pledge store on the RSI website until the 30th of September. There's also now a vote on to see which of the ships, the Mustang, Delta or Sabre, that you'd like back in the pledge store next week. Oddly titled Dogfighter of the Year. I'm going to assume the Sabre's going to win that. I'm pretty sure it's going to win. I don't think that takes too much educated guessing on my part. But be sure to cast your vote if you prefer the Delta instead, or whatever you're going to vote. Feel free to vote. During this time too, until the 30th, the Retaliator is available as an upgrade as well. So if you want a Retaliator, just make sure you check that out. The F7A has been updated. That's the military Hornet in the vault. So we saw some pictures of it, of the F7A Mark II. And hopefully the rest of the Hornet series will reap some of these improvements that the F7A has been getting soon too. So let's hope for that. The missile racks, we saw a sneak peeky of the new modular missile racks that will be added in the future. I think they look pretty cool. There's a research from the Texas University about digital social capital and crowdsourcing, and it's all about Star Citizen. So if you've got the time and like that sort of internet research, then please answer the 10-minute survey they have. I'll put a link of it in the description and some more information that Disco talked about in regards to that. The Star Citizen Star Map has been nominated as Cutting Edge Project of the Year by the FWA. If you'd like to check out the other entries that have also been nominated, of which there are another 51, and vote for the Star Citizen Star Map, go to the link in the description. The Cutlass Rework. So the Cutlass is getting reworked, and we found out that the mantra of the rework is fight, board, carry. They're confident that they can win back Cutlass Black owners. Previously, Cutlasses were massively overpromised feature-wise, and its role was confused. It had no true direction. It was kind of a jack of all trades ship and master of all of them as well, which obviously it can't be. We can only hope that the new vision and role of the Cutlass fits into the verse in a way that we like it, looks great, and makes players happy too. Star Citizen articles this week. There's been a couple of news pieces, one notably by Kotaku UK this week about Star Citizen's development. It seems to be mostly just looking at the earlier development of Star Citizen leading up to slightly more recently. It's certainly not a terrible piece, but it's more of a rehash covering past obstacles and controversy for CIG. Nothing that we haven't really heard already. Kind of the takeaway from that is that Star Citizen's an ambitious project, the likes of which has not been seen before. It does, however, use some of my pet hates, well, one of my pet hates, using entirely unnamed sources or use of unconfirmed sources, quoting them from other sites. But that's just my own personal gripe there. I'll drop a link to the article in the description too, for those of you that are info hungry like I am as well. I do like reading and digesting everything, and the article wasn't too bad at all. I thought it was quite balanced. AtV was this week DE, or Germany Frankfurt focused. So let's have a jump in and see what they've been talking about there. The weapons team in Frankfurt have been kind of editing and changing and polishing lots of the FPS weapons, though that looks like they're going to get a full rework for Squadron 42 as well. Basically, they've polished the weapons and applied the style guides from the different manufacturers to them, so each weapon is going to look more and more like its manufacturer type with the basic materials and the way it functions and reloads and all that sort of stuff. You'll get a feel for what manufacturer is by the weapon that you're using. We should hopefully be seeing some of those new weapons and polished weapons in Star Marine and 2.6, as well as lots of improvements to the current ones. It's all pretty exciting. I think everything's starting to look pretty cool and polished. The level design team have been working on modular systems, so this is satellite construction. They can serve a huge range of purposes in game based on what components make them up. They're modular. They can all build these satellites from modular pieces, just like systems on ships basically, and those pieces make the role of that satellite, giving it different systems, giving it shields, giving it different functions in the verse. These systems and satellites will also be fully automated. They have made lots and lots of different modules very distinctive so that you can look at a satellite quickly and work out what its purpose for that satellite is, what its abilities are, and where its different modules and like shield generators and stuff are. These modules will also be able to take damage, and players would need to EVA across and repair them individually, in those modules individually, if they wanted to get systems back online. You'd also be able to steal information from satellites. Think the information runner, the Herald or whatever. It's going to be able to grab data from them, nom, and run off and sell it. Satellites near hazard, for example, like a star, would need shielding and cooling systems for that. Power generation and other needs are dependent on what the satellite's function is. A military satellite would avoid solar panels, for example, as they're easily damaged. There are going to be 3 major types of satellite: defense, communication, and science, and that will affect their size, shape, and their uses in the verse, and what modules exactly will be attached to them. Modules will be individually destructible or damaged or packable, but they haven't decided yet whether you're going to be able to completely destroy these satellites yet. It's going to be a decision that they make a bit later, but they'll obviously test it out and see what happens. Also, some satellites might have automated defenses, especially ones like the military satellites. The central module is the heart of each satellite, and it has 6 connection ports at the moment, so that other modules can be attached to it, and then from these modules, more modules can be attached in turn, so you effectively could build an entire space station or something similar in the verse with this system too. This also, modular system, is going to be used for planets, obviously in a different way, because they want to build buildings. So the first iteration that we have of small planetary buildings and locations in 3.0 will be small camps and research facilities placed in the verse. Artists can place a modular exterior to go, and then an interior to go inside, swapping out different interiors that they want. They can also add other sections to this, so they can add corridors, they can also put in building flair, they can put textures, all that sort of stuff. All the set dressing there makes the building look unique. The idea here is that it allows them to quickly populate the verse with varied and functional content. They're all placed manually too, these buildings, but they can be scaled up into larger buildings and structures in the future too. 3.0, however, is just going to be these smaller camps, smaller modular buildings. Think 1 to 3 rooms with a corridor connecting them, all sealed off with airlocks, if an airlock is necessitated on the particular planet. Though these can be really rapidly built out, they will have, as I said, various textures, set dressing, and features to make them feel more unique and detailed and more artist-driven in the verse, and it's a nice kind of medium between entirely artist-driven and a much quicker sort of like procedure-generated function. They've got all these buildings pre-made, they can just plop them down where they want and then just edit them quickly to give them a totally unique feel. This week's MVP was Yuto Riley. I can't say people's names properly, so apologies for that. This is for Star Citizen fan music, heavily influenced, it seems, by Pedro and Star Citizen's music in general. Pedro is one of my favourite composers ever, and I really like Riley's stuff. It's worth giving him some love. Check it out. It hasn't got nearly as many views and subscribers as this man deserves. The Astropub was the one that put me onto this music. It was a good spot a couple of weeks ago. I've really been enjoying his stuff. His music is also freeware for use in your videos and projects too. Expect to see it in some of mine. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. Check his link out. Also, more vision stabilization. So they go over the behind the scenes of the vision stabilization video that we saw recently, and that they've got basically all the first and third person animations unified, body joints are all physicalized, and bullets are spawned from the barrel of your gun. This is kind of some of the core immersion of Star Citizen. I've done a full breakdown of that entire section on another video with some other insights as well, link in the description, but the core of it, we have a unique first-person shooter experience where we're immersed and animations and movements of characters are exactly the same whether you're the person performing the actions or the person viewing someone else performing them. So no randomly shooting and how did he get a headshot. You'll see the barrel of his gun pointing at your head. That's the idea. But anyway, guys, that's it from the Star Citizen news this week. Please remember commenting on any of my Star Citizen videos throughout the month of September gives you a chance to win an Argo MPUV, or that Star Citizen budget PC that I made. Thank you so much to all my Patreons, my Game Whispers, donators. All of that stuff helps me out so much I could not describe. Links in the description for anyone else that wants to further support the channel. But genuinely, just ideas and views is so much anyway. So thank you so much, guys, for that. So much appreciated. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in the verse.